Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video. As most of you have probably seen from some of the other videos, one of the things I'm currently in the process of doing is restoring my X doors. I'm actually doing them down to the bare bones, sanding them, painting them, going through every single part. And part of that process is actually talking about going through and making these X doors a little bit more watertight and a little bit more noise resistant. So one of the things that I wanted to show you that I've been working on as part of this restoration process is minimizing some of the common rattles that we run into with the X doors, specifically around the latching mechanism. So what you'll see here is I have actually got the crossbar along with the latching mechanism that we use to get in and out from the inside of the vehicle. And one of the common areas that we get rattles from is located right here, right where the handle comes down. And a lot of that's because we have metal-to-metal contact. Now, with that being said, this rod or this shaft here is actually coated in rubber to help that from the factory. However, over time that starts to wear down, and then you get metal-metal contact, and then you get a tinging sound whenever you go over a bump. So this is a common area right here. And then over on this other side, where it's closer to the latching mechanism, this is where it slides back and forth, and it'll actually rub up against that metal. Same thing. Over time, it starts to wear out that rubber coating on the rod, and then eventually you've got metal-to-metal contact. So one of the things I've been doing is I've actually been taking a very simple process in place. I've actually got 1-inch felt with a sticky back adhesion in the back. And it's very thin as you can see, but what I've actually used this for is mitigating some of the noise that you would commonly run into with a very simple solution. This can be bought on Amazon for relatively cheap, and as you can see, I've got a pretty significant size roll here. I want to say it was maybe no more than 20 bucks. And really just wanted to show you a couple of things that I've done. So if I take this rod out here, be able to give you a better view. But what you'll see is I've actually added a felt around this edge, and if I were to actually show you what this looked like before, there was wear right around here, worn all the way down to the metal, and so what was happening is it was tapping on that piece there and causing that metal. Secondly, on the other side, I've gone ahead and wrapped that as well. And so what this does is this will slide up against that corner over there and essentially wear out. So the one thing I have noticed though is with felt on this side, it could cause some additional resistance when you're trying to move that latch. So frankly, I think that this might be not the best solution, but as long as you're okay with a little bit more resistance when opening up the door, this should quiet it down pretty easy. So I'm going to just go ahead and put this back in there. I'm also going to show you another way that you can reduce some of that rattling, and that's also from the retainer block here. So essentially what this block does is it actually bolts down right into here, and that's just to keep the rod in place. But one of the common things that you will run into is that this rod will actually also make that tapping sound, and that's from hitting here. So now you've got another point of contact where you can cause additional noise within the cabin. So what I've done is I've actually already pre-cut this piece here. I'm going to go ahead and clean it down. And to remove it, it's simply just 2 screws. You'll see I've got the 2 screws here. So I'll show you the installation. You'll just take those out of this plastic block. Once you've got the block out, I'm just going to use a little bit of acetone to clean the surface. I want to make sure that's a good clean surface for the adhesion of the felt. All right. What I'm just going to do is just going to peel this back. And I'm actually going to start let's see if I can get this in there. Let's start from pinching it together. I want to get it close to that top of that edge as possible. As you can see, it's very tacky because I've got that surface really clean. So that's pretty close right there. I'm going to go ahead and slide it down in there. And there you have it. You see I've got it completely inside there. Zoom in. And now I've got a piece of felt there that'll prevent that noise from happening. So just to show you the difference, put it back in here. And now you can't hear that tapping like we did before. So now that I've got that squared away, I'm just going to go ahead and flip this over, line up the holes. Get this screwed back in. And now what will essentially happen is you can see that now I've got protection here against the metal. This slides up in there against padding that we just installed on this block. And then of course on the other end, we've got it rubbing right here, which is now protected by the pad right there. So this is a great, easy way to reduce some of those extra noises that you're going to get from your X doors. If you're looking for more information around some of the modifications I'm making to further quiet down or make those X doors a little bit more watertight, be sure to watch my other videos and also be sure to subscribe when you have a chance. Thanks.